Hi guys, welcome to Players to the Core. My name's Stephen Dawes. Thank you for joining me. Well, the Macclesfield game in the FA Cup. Very disappointing game for me. I said in the preview game that I felt this would be a tough one. Not only because Macclesfield are not a pushover, as I said before, but also because our form has been so up and down, and we've been a little bit inconsistent, especially with scoring goals, and I just felt that this could be a bit of a banana skin for us, and unfortunately it was. I mean, first half we had a lot of possession. In fact, we had a lot of possession in the second half, but again we just couldn't do anything with it. We had no creativity up front in terms of scoring goals. A couple of half chances. Didn't really work the Macclesfield goalkeeper in the first half hardly at all. I mean, I know Uche put the ball, shot just over the bar. That was really our best opportunity in that first half. And you have to think to yourself, with the possession we had and the players we had on the pitch. Yes, we had young players on the pitch. We had, we didn't have our first team out there, but I think we should have had enough quality to have done more than we did. I really do think so. And then, it's one of those things where you just think to yourself, how could we have got to this situation? And I think part of it is that there just wasn't enough urgency in our game. We were passing the ball around, we were doing what the things that we normally do, but Macclesfield FC did a huge job. They worked incredibly hard from the first minute. Even though they didn't have the majority of possession, they were working hard. They were trying to get forward. They were trying to get the ball into the box. They were doing a lot of stuff. And okay, they weren't creating a huge number of chances in front either. But the thing for me is that they did enough to win the game, to be fair. And the first goal, again, was a set piece from Macclesfield. It was floated into the box, and there just wasn't enough headers going for the ball and heading it. Richards jumped in front of Dawson to try and get the ball, but then Dawson got a free head on it, really, because Canvo was standing next to him, didn't jump for it or didn't try to challenge him for it, and so unfortunately it was a good header and went in the back of the net. And second half, I knew Palace were going to try and change a few things. We did bring on a couple of first team players to try and sort the situation out, but by then I think it was just too late. We just didn't have, again, we had possession in the second half and probably created better chances in the second half, but again there was no real urgency there. And I thought, okay, as Macclesfield tire, we might be able to get back into this game, might be able to get back on top of it. Unfortunately, it didn't happen, and it was a very odd goal, the second one, but it was one where, again, he had time. Well, he didn't have time. He was in space to do it. There was no one challenging him to going in when he did that flick with the outside of his foot that wrong-footed Benitez. And at 2-0, I really did consider the fact that we weren't going to do it because, as time was ticking on, yes, we had possession, we had a majority of the possession. Macclesfield was starting to sit back a bit. I knew that was going to happen because obviously, they're going to tire, and also they want to try and protect this lead they've got. But at the same time, they did also try to get forward. And towards the end of the game, I thought we might get a goal. And the Jeremy Pino free kick was a good free kick. There's nothing against that at all. It was a good free kick, but I still didn't think we had enough about us to actually win the game. And fair play to Macclesfield, they played incredibly well, they worked tremendously hard, and I don't think did enough to get a win there, which is sad when you talk about how things have been over the last year to get to the point now. And with the caveat of all the injuries that we've got and the fact that we're playing a lot of games, I still feel like we should have come out and won this game. I still feel as though, even with the young players and the team that we had enough to win that game. Now, I'm not a manager. I don't pretend to be. But maybe if he had put on more of the first team players in the first half, maybe then we might have been more involved in the game. We might have created one or two more concrete chances, might have even scored a goal, maybe two. And then, second half, you can then take off the experienced players, put on some of the younger players when Macclesfield are starting to tire, and it could be a bit better that way round. I don't know. That's just me. It's just my particular opinion on it. But anyway, so very disappointing. Obviously now we're out of the FA Cup, which is another disappointing thing for us. But we'll have to look forward now to the next game, and hopefully we will put in a bit more of an effort into that particular game. But let me know what your thoughts are down in the comment section. I can kind of anticipate what some of them are going to be, but let me know what you think down in the comment section. Please do subscribe to help push this channel forward, and I'll see you next time.